Hey there, I'm Christine with What's Up Cupcake Whimsical Crafts, and I am back with a market recap from my first spring market of 2025. It's March 2nd. I know it's not spring yet, but I feel like it's spring market season, so I'm going with it. They can't all be great. They can't all be great. So I had really high hopes for this market. This was the Cary Underground Market in Cary, North Carolina, which is in the Triangle area. It's surrounded by Raleigh, Durham. Very cute little market behind this popular local brewery and hangout spot. There's a lot of nice shops that you can walk to. It was a Sunday market, which I don't know that I've done a lot of Sunday markets, maybe one or two, but it was cold. For the fact that yesterday, Saturday, was maybe like 65 to 70 degrees. It was a beautiful spring day yesterday. It dropped dramatically overnight. So the high, I think, during this market was 45 degrees. That's Fahrenheit. It was really cold. And because I am selling crochet plushies, I did put up the sidewalls for my tent to help keep the wind down, because I've had issues before of the wind knocking down some of my plushies. And we were supposed to have pretty tight spaces. 10 by 10 booth space is what everyone was signed up for. So I didn't want stuff falling into my neighbor's booth. Well, my neighbor on one side didn't show. Or if they did, I don't know if they actually did show and just went to a different spot. I think they were like a pet treat booth, like homemade pet treats. And I saw someone that was carrying some around, and I mentioned like, oh, is there a pet treat vendor? And they're like, oh yeah, it's at the very end. So I don't know if they just like got moved, but I was excited because I thought I was going to see all of the cute dogs coming by. And I did, but they weren't stopping at a booth next to me because there was nothing next to me. And I wanted to pick up something for my dog, but I never really was able to get far enough away from my booth. So yeah, I had the sidewalls up, and I was talking to one of my other neighbors later on, and she had said that I would have gotten more sun, obviously, if at least one of the walls was down. I was like, I know, but like the wind. So yeah, I mean, I didn't feel like there was much I could do about it for this market in particular. Maybe another market when it's just not as windy, but at the same time, it would probably be warmer. So hopefully we're starting to get towards warmer weather at this point. I hope. But it was a cold day. It was really nice in the sun. So there were a lot of people walking around, enjoying a beverage. There were a lot of families. There were a lot of people with their pets. And it was generally like a really well-attended market. There were like half a dozen food trucks. I was surprised at how many food trucks there were. A couple of them are favorites, so instantly gravitated towards the poutine food truck because I love that one. And then got some food from one of the trucks for dinner tonight. But yeah, I mean, it had all the makings for a great market, and the organizers did a fantastic job. I just feel like people were not buying. And in speaking to other vendors around me, they all pretty much echoed that same sentiment. They said there were a lot of people looking, there were a lot of people tasting. Like, there's a spice vendor next to me. My husband was talking to the like hot sauce, barbecue sauce vendor. I was talking to jewelry vendor, things like that. Lots of people looking, not a lot of buying. I had great foot traffic, and it got busy in my booth quite a bit, but just not a lot of people purchasing. And when they did purchase, it was very small items. So anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. But going into this market, I had a new setup. I got a checkout stand. I purchased it from Etsy. I feel like it was a great price. I'll drop the link in the description below. And it's just, it collapses flat. It's quick to assemble. I just always felt like I had all of my checkout stuff, like bags and my register and like my little drawer of tags and things like that. I had them in crates stacked up on a table, but I felt like it was taking up table space that I would have otherwise designated for plushies. And I still, like, I'd lost space because I had a checkout stand specific, but sometimes at my markets, people also were like, where do I check out? Because, you know, there's stuff, crochet all around, there's crates all around. So this was very much like a designated checkout stand, and it was fantastic. Everything fit into this. It was the bar top height, so I was able to use my higher chair to sit behind it, and I could crochet behind it. But I did not test it the night before or the day before. Just, I was frantically trying to get things done for the market as usual. I know myself. I always say it's not going to be as crazy, but it is. But then we also had friends over, and, you know, like, I didn't dedicate the time to test out my booth in advance. And I told my husband that I can't complain when I do that or when I don't do that, because I just am kind of frantic the day of as I try to figure out how I want things to look. So I had my checkout stand, and then I had 2 bigger tables. And I had space still in my booth. I probably could have brought one of my small tables, but I wanted to be able to get up and walk around. Honestly, it wasn't going to matter for this market anyways, but we'll get there. So I had a new layout, and we got there. The market was 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and setup started at 10:30. So we got there right at 10:30, unloaded, set up the tent, had my husband put the tables on either side, and then my checkout stand at the back, which is just kind of a tried and true format for me in terms of like a 1L and then a side, so a U. And it took me a while to figure out how to get things right. I also added like a short bookcase to the top of one of my tables just to add some height. I think the bookcase might be too tall for the table. I actually didn't put risers on that table because of that bookcase, because things would really be high at that point. I almost think I should have gotten, I think it's a 4-shelf bookcase. I should have gotten a 3-shelf. Again, I was too lazy to test it and measure. So I might just put that on the floor next time. I don't know. Next time when I actually test it, I'll let you know. That I need to like keep that in my head so that I remember to test it. So there was a lot of stuff that like was high up and kind of out of reach, but that wasn't the issue. So set up everything, finally felt good about it, like right at 11:59. Market starts. There's already like a lot of foot traffic leading up to this. It's noon. It's a Sunday. It's beautiful, yet freezing outside. So, you know, people are walking around. I also put out kind of the typical items that draw people in. So I had my little spinning display of swing buddies. And then I put out an Easter basket filled with Easter grass and put in all of my different like poppers that I have. I think the majority of them are cable and canvas patterns, and it's like a bunny popper, a teacup with a kitty, a frog, and a lily pad. And I put a sign on it saying, I thought this was super, I crack myself up sometimes. I put a sign on it saying, Easter eggs too expensive, fill your baskets with fidget pops instead. People like flocked to that basket. Not one sold. And I don't think my pricing is crazy high. I mean, a lot of those fidget pops are ones that I sell normally and normally sell out of, like the mushroom pops. Those are just some of my thoughts on why maybe things weren't as great. Other things that got lots of attention, but not a lot of sales. Well, my whole like Ghibli area, like Studio Ghibli, Totoro's, Soot Sprite, what else is there? No Face. So much attention. And oh my gosh, like, look at this. I sold a blue Totoro. I think that was like the first or second item that I sold today. Sold a chibi Totoro. everything else, just lots of people came in and saw it and were really excited about it. So, that was fun to see. And I had some customers that were just so excited about things, even if they didn't buy, just hearing like how excited they were to see certain things on the shelves. So, they're not all going to be great. I just think it was a weird day, and people aren't spending a lot of money, and I don't blame them. When I'm having a good market day too, I want to go shopping and I want to go see the other vendors. And I wasn't as inclined to do that today because I was like, I really can't like end up in the negative. But anyways, let's get into the details of the numbers. So this market was a $100 booth fee for a 10 by 10 tent space outside from 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock. My total sales today were $224. So made $114. I did not write down what the tax was because it wasn't a huge amount, or the fees because it wasn't a huge amount. You win some, you lose some. And it was nice meeting other vendors. I've been wanting to do a market with this organizer, and again, they were fantastic. They checked on us numerous times. It was a very smooth process setting up, breaking down. I would definitely do another market with them. I think we're kind of in like a weird time of year. It's not close enough to Easter where people are thinking about it yet. It was a freezing cold day, and I know freezing is relative. I don't know how y'all do it in the States that have snow and like real cold, but it was freezing for me. So, it is what it is. But I had fun. I had poutine, a boba, and met some cool new vendors and chatted about markets and their experience. I got a cute little bracelet. I'll put her company in the link or in the description below. I'm trying to remember. It's Palm something. But I'll put it below. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't horrible. I made back my booth fee. I'm happy about that. And I got to experience this market. And the good news is I also don't have to do a ton of market prep to get ready for my next market, which is in 2 weeks, because I didn't sell enough to really make a big dent in my inventory. While I was there, I made one cheeky turtle, and I made 10 swings for Swing Buddies, which is great because I sold 6 Swing Buddies, so I got to replenish them and make a little bit more. And because I don't have as much to make to keep my inventory ready for the next market in 2 weeks, and I'm going out of town next weekend for my son's birthday, because of that, I can actually do some things that I really want to do. Like I've been really wanting to paint a few more safety eye colors, variations, and finally list them on Etsy. I've also wanted to list some of my plushies on Etsy. I just have been worried about having enough inventory to do so, and then what I was going to list. So, there is a bright side, and it was overall a good day, and I'm glad I did it. I just, yeah, it was just almost comical that the way that it went. And I don't know. There were some wonderful kids that came to this market, and I love when they get excited about things. And just even some of the conversations I have with the parents of said children where, they're like, I want this. Oh my gosh, I want this. No, I want this. And like, they're just zipping around the booth. And there was one parent that came with her 2 kids, and they came 3 times to the booth. And the 3rd time she was like, we are going to pick something. And so they kind of went through all of the things. They really wanted the mystery boxes, but she was like, I'm not getting you mystery boxes. I want you to pick something that you actually want. I do not want there to be a chance that like one person gets something that the other one wanted and vice versa, or you didn't get something you wanted. And I get it. So they ultimately got swing buddies, but I mean, they looked at everything else in the meantime. Also, I do a little promotion right now of spend $15 or more, get a free sticker. I have some stickers that I made from when I was, I still do a lot of like journaling and stationery stuff. But at one point, I was trying to make my own stickers for journaling and stationery, bullet journals, Hobonichi journals, all that. And I made some vinyl stickers of like Highland cows doing things. And so I just was giving those away as like a freebie if you spend over $15. So these kids were like, we have to spend over $15 to get these stickers. So that I just threw in extra stickers for them because only one of them would have gotten one based on how much they spent. And I was like, it takes stickers. So they were very excited. And one of the kids that came in a different group bought a loaf cat. And then she came back later and was showing her father like the thick toad and cheeky turtle. And she was carrying her loaf cat, and I recognized her. And I was like, "Oh, would you name your loaf cat? You know, did you decide on something?" She was like, "I named him Meatloaf." She was like, "I did a spin on loaf cat, and it's Meatloaf." I was like, "That is genius." So yeah, she's gonna have a little adoption certificate that says Meatloaf. All right. My kids are playing video games in the other room and they're really loud, so I don't know if you can hear them or not, but I am going to just decompress at this point. And yeah, thanks for sticking around and listening to my little anecdotes from the day. If you like this, please like and subscribe. I would love to keep you entertained with my market stories and lessons learned. But I do have a market in 2 weeks that should be a really good one. It's at a popular shopping center, like boutique kind of shopping center and restaurants and things like that. And I have been to their markets several times just because they're really fun and they have some amazing local vendors there. So I was very excited to get into that one. And talking to actually my vendor neighbor, she was saying that that market has always been fantastic for her. So fingers crossed, but I am going to adjust my expectations in general. And yeah, thanks again. Have a great day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. I'll see you next time. Bye.